Hi guys, it's Katie and I'm going to be doing a full face of Charlotte Tilbury. I've got loads of new makeup that I've not even tried yet, so it's going to be a bit of a first impressions. I've not done a YouTube video before, so this is my first one. So don't be too harsh. I'm just going to get my hair out of the way. So we've got space to be doing what we need to do. My skin's quite clear at the minute, and I think it's actually because of this. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. Yes, I know it is a bomb when it comes to the price, but I mean, previously, before I tried this, I was using the Kiko moisturiser. It was limited edition, so I actually couldn't get that again. And I ordered this makeup and got a little sample, and I found that my skin cleared up. Like, it just doesn't feel as dry anymore. Right, so I always start with eyes first, personally. I know not everybody does this, but I've always done it first, just in case there's any fallout. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Palette of Pops to use today. Looks like this. But as you can see, there's only shimmers in this, so I'm actually going to use my Tartelette in Bloom palette. Just some of the matte shades. I'm thinking of doing quite a pink toned look. I think I'm going to use this one all over the lid, and then this one probably in the inner corner. See how it goes. But I'm going to use the Urban Decay Primer Potion all over my eyelids. This is my favourite and always has been. I think I must have gone through 5 of these over the years. I just love them. I find that I have really oily eyelids, so if I don't use a primer, then it's just going to crease throughout the day, and there's no point doing eyeshadow if it's not going to last. Just rub it in with my finger so it's evenly spread. Excuse the nails, by the way. Obviously during lockdown I can't get them done. Seriously missing just the normal things that you get done every month to treat yourself, and now you can't do it. So I'm just going to set that with the Bone Matte shade called Charmer, just with a Morphe concealer brush actually, but this is my favourite brush for just setting the eyes. This is just going to give me a nice base so that when I put all the eyeshadows on, they're all going to blend together really nicely. Just want to make sure it's dry. If you put your finger over it, that you can't actually feel it. So I always test. That needs a little bit more just here on the lid. Okay, so now I'm just taking my favourite fluffy brush, which is the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH30. I think I've got about 3 of these. They're just my favourite brushes for just packing on the transition. So now I'm just taking the shade Sweetheart and running that all over through the crease. Not really worrying too much because it's quite a pale shade, so you're not really going to mess up. Just windshield wiper motions back and forth. I'm just going a little bit more on the outer corner to create more shape, make the eyes pop a bit more. It's my favourite ever transition shade when doing a pink look or a copper look, red look, anything like that. This is just my favourite transition shade. I've had this palette This is actually the second one I've bought because I actually use it that much. It's just very, this is what it looks like. As you can see, I love it a lot. So that just looks like that, just very simple. And then I'm just going to take a slightly smaller brush. So as you can see, this one on the right is very fluffy, whereas this one is much more flat and rounded. So I always go in with a fluffier brush first, just to go through the transitions. And then when you want a bit more colour and a bit more pigment, I always go in with a flatter brush. This is the Morphe M456. I also have a lot of these. Then I'm just taking the shade Rebel and just packing that slowly. I'm only dipping once and it gets enough pigment. And just going back and forth in the outer corner. And then slowly bringing that up and into the crease. So I want most of the colour to go on the outer corner, just to create definition. And then whatever's left, just bring it through the crease like that. So this just gives you a nice little something to tie in with the shimmer. Obviously that's the main focus. So again, just the same thing, pack it on the outer corner, windshield wiper motions, and then slowly bring it in to the rest of the crease. Just creates the shape, makes your eyes pop a little bit more. And then I go back in with a fluffy brush, not going into any product, and just blend the two together so it's all seamless. Okay, so now we're going to try the Charlotte Tilbury palette of pops. So I'm going to take the shade Enhance Rahasa. I'm not quite sure how you say that, but we're going to guess. I'm just taking a flat packer brush, gonna pick up the product, and then I'm going to spray it to make it wet. I do this with every shimmer shade. I just find that it just brings it to life, really. So spray, and I'm just gonna put this on the inner corner of my eye. And then dip back in. Just keep packing it onto the centre. So you're almost making like a cut crease, but we're just not gonna carve it with concealer or anything first. Just keep packing it. This is a really pretty shimmer shade. It's very reflective if you get it in the right light. Great for like an everyday look. This isn't that glam, but right, so that's that. As you can see, it's just really pretty. Nothing too heavy, which is nice when you do a lot. So I'm just going back in with the flat brush, and I'm just gonna run that over the edge of where I put the shimmer shadow, just so it's more seamless. And then again with this eye, just literally run it over a couple of times, and it just blends the shimmer into the matte. So yeah, it's just really pretty. It's very just subtle eye look, but obviously with this eyeshadow quad, this is the one I used. I'm going to use the lighter one in the inner corner, but you could really make a smoky look with these, or there's a lot you can do. Obviously there's no matte shades in them, but I know most of the other eyeshadow quads, they all have, I think it's 2 mattes and 2 shimmers, which all you need to create a look, really. So then I'm just going to take cotton pad and some micellar water. I'm just going to run that under my eye just to collect any fallout, because I often find even the best shimmer eyeshadows, most of them have fallout, and that's just how it is, unfortunately. But who cares if they're pigmented and they work, and you do your eyeshadow first. Now we're going to move on to base. So obviously I just moisturised, so that's actually all sunk in really nicely now. So I've actually got 2 foundations to try. Well, this is not really a foundation, it's kind of a tinted moisturiser, but it's really glowy. And then the Airbrush Flawless foundation. I think I'm going to go with the Airbrush Flawless, but I'm just going to do a really light layer because I know it's very full coverage. So just take a bit on the back of my hand and a beauty sponge. This is the Morphe Contour and Highlight Sponge. Yeah, I think that's quite a good colour. Put a few dots everywhere because I don't want all this product going in one area. And then once I'm happy, I just dab the product into my skin. Never forget the ears. This is what the foundation's looking like. As you can see, it's still leaving the skin really dewy. It's not too full coverage, so you can still see all my freckles here, which is really nice. Make sure you go into the hairline, down the neck. So that 2 is actually quite a good colour match for me, I think. When I get a bit more tan, I'll probably mix it with 4. So now we're going to try the Magic Away Liquid Concealer. I've got shades 1 and 3. So I think I'm going to go with 1. What do you guys think of the applicator? I know it's very controversial. I mean, I know I probably couldn't take these into my kit when I do freelance because it's just not very hygienic. But I mean, if I'm using it just for myself, then it wouldn't be a problem. You guys just saw how much I twisted that. It's not really much coming out. Okay, here we go. So it's a bit lighter than the foundation, which I don't mind. I'd probably be better off getting 2 if I was going to get it again. Cover up the blemishes. Let's see. So that's not very much. So I'm just going to see what this covers. And then if we need a level layer, we can go in. So I'm just going to use my beauty sponge again on the forehead, just because it evenly spreads it a bit more. And then my favourite concealer brush is the M173. It's just a round dome brush. It's synthetic, and I just prefer using a brush under the eyes at the minute. So I'm going to do this side with a brush, which I normally use my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and it just blends out flawlessly. And I'm going to do the other side with my sponge and just see what I prefer. So it's blended out quite nicely with brush. It's just not really covered here very much. Let's see what it does with sponge. Right. No, I think it definitely worked better with the brush. So I'm just going to put a little bit more on this side. A bit more in the inner corner because it's just still a bit blue. A little bit more down here, and here, and here. Just going to use my brush. So I've already tried the Hollywood contour wand and I just love it. I know this looks like a lot and it looks quite scary, but it literally blends out so well that this isn't even really that much, to be honest. And I either use a brush or a beauty sponge, and well, I've got my sponge here, so I'm just going to use that. You just pounce over and you go up, so it blends upwards, and it just shapes your face really nicely. Right, so that was the contour wand. Now I'm going to use, so I've got 3 of these. I think 2 might be blush and 2 are highlight. They're the same as the contour wands, but just blush and highlight versions. So I've got Pinkgasm, Peachgasm, Pillow Talk and Spotlight. So these are the highlights and these are the blushes. I've used Pinkgasm before and it's very pretty, very reflective, quite pink. I'll show you guys Peachgasm. I've not even tried this yet, so this is exciting for me. So it's obviously a lot more peach. I think I'm going to use that one. So I don't use very much because even though it's a blush, it's obviously a shimmery blush, and I mean, my favourite blush is Milani Luminoso, and that has got a bit of a sheen to it, so it's not too bad, but these are very, very reflective, as you can see. I mean, that is a beautiful colour though. It's very pretty. So that's all you need really, just put a little bit on. Spotlight is the highlighter that I have used many times and it's beautiful. It complements so many skin tones. So I'm gonna try Pillow Talk today, since I've not tried that. I think it's just more pink in undertone. I mean, you guys can see, like, I've not even blended that out yet and it's just so reflective. It's gorgeous. I'm sure these are the same formula as the ones I've tried already, but even once you put powder over the top of these highlighters, they're still so reflective, and I just use a really subtle highlight over the top once I've powdered, and it's just so beautiful. So now we're going to use the Airbrush Flawless powder. This is in the shade 1 Fair / Pale, because that is what I am. I'm just going to use if I can find it, Morphe E4 brush. Just going to pack that and just go under the eyes. Take that over the contour and the highlight. So look, even with the powder, it's still so reflective. You don't even really need to put a powder highlight over the top. But I mean, I'm going to anyway, because that's just the type of person I am. I always like to contour next. I'm going to use the Film Star Bronze and Glow. Mine is quite well loved. It just looks like this. This is the lighter one. I think they have two. So there is a lot available. To contour, I'm just going to use the E4 brush by Morphe. I'm just going to run that over like so, a little bit here and on the forehead, just to make me a little bit more sculpted. Just going to take that and pop it over the top really lightly, just to bring it back to life. I mean, it was already gorgeous, but we just like a bit of a glow onto the nose, Cupid's bow. And then I like to blush. So like I said earlier, unfortunately I don't have any powder blushes by Charlotte Tilbury, so I just love the Milani Luminoso. It's just so beautiful. It's not too pink, it's very peach. Smile, put it on. This is my favourite blush brush. This is the Spectrum 607. So now I'm just going to prep my lips with the Kiko Milano Lip Volume. It's meant to be a lip plumper, but I mean, I literally don't think it is. It just makes my lips feel really nice and hydrated, so that once I finish the rest of my makeup, lipstick goes on nicely. That's it really. And then my favourite eyebrows at the minute, eyebrow product, is the MAC Brow Styler. I think the shade might be Linger Wing. I'm not actually too sure. So I just brush them up. I mean, eyebrows are personal to everyone. Take the concealer again, if I can get the lid off, a little bit on the back of my hand. I took shade 3 this time in the concealer because I don't want it to brighten too much under the brow. I just want it to make the shape a little bit cleaner, because I just do like a clean brow. So that's that, and then I'm just gonna do a little bit here, just to clean it up. Run from the front, and then add that there. And then I'm going to do the other brow off camera, and I'll be back. Okay, so eyebrows are on. I'm now going to take a little pencil brush, just like this. I used this one the other day, so it's a little bit dirty. And I'm just going to take the transition shade under my eye, join that. And we're going to take the quad again, and on my favourite inner corner highlight brush, just going to dip that in, see how this works without wetting it, and then I'm just going to wiggle it in the inner corner. We're just going to also take that under here, under the brow bone, just to make the eyebrows pop a little bit more. So next we're taking the Urban Decay All Night Setting Spray. It's just, I mean, I've got so many. The Morphe one is really good. I mean, I tried this. Yes, it makes you very glowy. I just don't like spray on it. So that's why I always use it to wet my eyeshadow brushes. If it had like this spray or the Morphe spray, I think it'd be my favourite, but you love some products, you don't like other products, that's just the way it is. So I just spray that everywhere and set my eyebrows with some brow gel. This is a Rimmel one. It's my favourite when I just want them just to tint the hairs a little bit more, because I've just got such blonde eyebrows. So this just doesn't really add much colour to where I've drawn it on, just actually makes the hairs a bit darker. If I want them to stay in place and not move at all, then I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel, which put that on, they're not going anywhere. So now to open my eyes up a little bit more, I'm just going to take a bone kind of shade in a NARS eyeliner. I'm just going to run that in the lash line. Now I always look up, put my head down slightly and just kind of get it done as quick as possible. And then we're going to do lashes and then lip liner and lipstick, and then that's the look pretty much done. And then I'm going to go through everything and just give you my opinion on the Charlotte Tilbury products. Now this is the Tarte Big Ego mascara. This is actually my favourite mascara at the minute. My friend Clara brought me it for Christmas in like a little gift set, so it's just a mini, and I know for sure once this runs out I will be buying the full size one. I think I'm going to use Pillow Talk lip liner by Charlotte Tilbury, seeing as this is a Charlotte Tilbury video. I've got a few shades, but I mean this is just so stunning. Really pretty. I don't know what shade to use actually, so I've got 3 nude lipsticks by Charlotte Tilbury. I've got JK Magic, which is this beautiful nude. It's quite beige toned. And then we've got Bitch Perfect, which is a bit more pinky. Can I just say, Charlotte Tilbury kills it on the packaging. Rose gold's my favourite colour, so I just love it. And then of course we've got Pillow Talk, which is a bit deeper than the rest. I think we're actually going to go with Pillow Talk because I know it looks good on me. That's the finished look. Just get the hair out. It's just a really pretty everyday look. And I actually curled my hair with the TikTok hack, the dressing gown belt. I put one on this side and one on this side to get it a bit tighter. In the morning, if a few were a bit dodgy, I just go over them with a curling tong. But other than that, literally no heat. Sleep it in. Just love it. This is the finished look. What do you guys think? I think I really love the foundation, the cream contour highlight and blush. The lipsticks are amazing, they last all day. The concealer I'm still not too sure on because you can still see a little bit of the blue, which when using my NARS concealer you can't see, but I'm going to try them out. It might be because I used the brush, or I'm going to give it another shot for sure. The eyeshadow, I really like it for a subtle look. I think it would look really pretty on anyone with blue eyes or green eyes. It's definitely not the most pigmented shimmers I've ever used, but really subtle, really pretty. The powder I love, I already know that. And the magic cream, I know it's expensive, but in my view, it's worth it because it just makes your skin feel so nice. Let me know what you guys think on all of the products. Do you have any Charlotte Tilbury products that you love that I need to try? So that's it for today's video. Just this natural pink toned look using mainly Charlotte Tilbury products. There were a few that weren't. But for now, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll be back again soon. Bye.